Sunday. When we spoke when you were in Australia, Michael, you said you might be little bit emotional. Did it turn out that way?
It did, yeah. After the goal and looking around at the fans and seeing the boys celebrating again, Murph and Kev Gray and Lummy was over there as well. It was just fantastic, and just see the fans and it brought back some memories as well. But before the game, just seeing familiar faces and just the vibe back around the dressing room was great. Same old banter, same old abuse. Still got the stick given to us off Lummy and a few of the boys, Carl Hawley. But it's just a great event and a great day, and like you say, I think I said to you I would get emotional. I held them back and turned it into smiles.
An assist for Carl, a goal. Wow, what a goal! And the roar from the crowd when that went in. That does bring back the memories.
Yeah, it does, and it was great. Like I say, Carl said to us, "It's fantastic that you finally passed to us," because Carl would either score them himself, and I didn't tend to give him many assists. But no, it was good to have that bit of banter, and then like you say, to get a goal that I tried to replicate the Northampton goal. I said to Murph, he wanted to take the free kick. I said, listen, if you let us have a go here, I said, this is my moment. I'm not running around too much. I said, this is my moment. He said, I'll tell you what, I'll roll the ball back to you and you just have a little flick and a shot and see what happens. And it did. And it was just nice, like you say, that the roar of the crowd, the memories came flooding back. And I got a bit of footage of the game off one of my mates who was videoing in the crowd. And it was so nice to know who your friends are, because they didn't celebrate, they just went, oh no. Because they knew I was going to talk about it for the rest of my time here, which is good.
We touched on this, but the boots that you were wearing, that's special, and it's going to have a special meaning going forward.
Yeah, I've got it was incredible to find the boots from the time I was here, the old Umbro Wishbones. So I brought them back over from Australia. I wore them for the game. So there's a goal from Northampton, and there's a goal from the Legends game, and I'm just going to leave them here. They're actually in the boot of the car now. Going to leave them here and see what the foundation, another charity, can get for them, however they want to do that. But I'll miss them.
Let's just talk about that cause, Mike, because it is important. There was the fun aspect, there was the memory lane aspect, but there's a real serious reason for everybody getting together last weekend.
Yeah, there is, and like you say, I think it's fantastic that everybody's a part of it and what it is about. And ex-players and staff. Football is fantastic when you're a player. The transition from being a player, some players are lucky enough to be able to retire after that, and some players aren't. And the mental state that people can go through, the financial struggles that people can go through in all walks of life. But it's just nice to know that there's something behind it there. There's a bit of an option where the players can help each other out. There can be things there for education to set them and give them an opportunity to do something else. And the main thing is just for the mental mindset, knowing that there is people there that actually care. And I think it's a fantastic option and charity.
I know a lot of you lads stick together digitally these days, whether it's WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever, but seeing each other again, what did that mean, and what does it mean to actually get together after so long?
Like you say, the emotions come back, the memories come back. Just even looking at the pictures on the wall there of us celebrating and getting the championship, just fun memories that you've got, and you forget, and it's nice to have things like that. So when you see certain people and you ask them what they're doing these days, I was just blown away by hearing some of the stories of the boys, what they've gone on to do after football, and what they are doing now. And I think there was an incredible article that was done in the News and Star on Simon Hackney, to read what he actually went through. You don't realise sometimes that lads don't talk about it. You don't know what other lads are going through, and that's why it was nice on the WhatsApp group to actually just send that out and say, listen, Simon's talked about it. Anybody else, speak out. Don't be quiet about it. And like you say, seeing everybody again and just hearing their side of the story from where we are. I mean, it was nearly 20 years ago, 15 years ago or something. It's just incredible to think where the time's gone.
And the fans, you're seeing that reaction, the number who came, nearly 1,400, and cheering every player's name that was read out. That shows how special that period was.
Yes, it does. And you always tend to find that when you've had success. I mean, that club, when I was at Carlisle, the promotion, the team that I played with at Sunderland when we got promotion, and I've been at a lot of other clubs. I went to Bristol City, I was at Hull City, didn't have the best of times there. So you still talk to some of the boys when you bump into them, but not the camaraderie that you had with a group of winners. And that was something special. And the fans know that. They know that they witnessed something special at that time of their lives as supporters. And for them to turn up and bring their kids along, I mean, I was surprised how many how many kids were here. You know, they're probably looking, thinking, who are these guys? But the parents will tell them, they'll show them pictures, and I just thought it was beautiful. And you know, I was just very thankful that the amount of people that turned up, because my son in Australia had asked how many, and you know, I said to son, we could get 100, we could get 2,000, and you know, the number was over the what we expected, so it was great.
When you confirmed you were coming, you put your play reel up. Somebody had put together your goals, and so many of them at Carlisle that we'd forgotten, which is amazing. You had such a good spell here.
Yeah, I did, and a fun spell. And like you say, I'll always talk about that moment when I got my love of the game back, and it was Carlisle United that gave me that. It was Paul Simpson that gave me that opportunity, and it was Dennis Booth. And it took us a while to adjust to the league, and not disrespecting the standard. It was actually me thinking that I was going to have far more time and on the ball, and that reality wasn't there. I was getting kicked from pillar to post, and thought, wow, you're going to have to really work here. And I did, and they give us the option and the opportunity to do that. And what I loved about Simo and Den, they know that I was an entertaining footballer that wanted to entertain. I loved getting the ball and trying to express myself, and they never took that away from us, because they knew what it meant to the fans. And you know, you could create something out of nothing, as long as I was doing the right areas of the field. Because when you got people like Peter Murphy and you've got people like Kev Gray, when you give the ball away in the wrong areas, they're going to absolutely annihilate you, and that's exactly what they did. And it was good, because I needed that.
And that partnership, not just Carl but Derek as well, you know,
Yeah.
that threesome that came together so well. Did that surprise you guys?
Yes and no. As a player, you don't see it, but as a coaching staff, they've obviously, you need a plan B. And I think what we had with the three of us, you had a guy like myself that could do something out of nothing. You had a natural goal scorer in Carl Hawley. You had a guy that had pace. And with Derek Homer and me, what we lacked in pace, I made up for on the ball. And what Homer had, he was a battler. He would fight. So if we weren't breaking defenders down with little intricate play, Homer would come on, and we knew we had a plan B with flick-ons, hold-up play, and that's what he gave us. And I think the staff knew that they had the right blend. We weren't similar players, and I think that's the key to it.
I've got to ask you about that whole move, because I remember on the night I'd actually been, Sarah, the club secretary, sent me home. It's off, don't worry about it. Then it was back on. Any regrets about making that move in the end? Because it was on-off. Will it happen? Will it not happen?
Well, you drop down the leagues, and you always want to play as the highest level that you can. So in hindsight, yes, it was the wrong move, because I was loving my football here. But at the time when I went to Hull, there was another transfer. There was money came back to Carlisle, and I was going up a division back to the Championship. And if you could look into a crystal ball and see that the manager at the time, Phil Parkinson, was going to get sacked after 6 games, I wouldn't have gone. But you can't see that, because the guy that came in, Phil Brown, obviously had other ideas. Different style of management, and we didn't say eye to eye, and it didn't materialise the way I wanted it to, and I wasn't enjoying my football again. But what I was going through off the field was a fantastic life with twins that were just getting born. So I'd lost like 6 months of my life trying to help my wife look after them too when they were premature. So yeah, I mean, things happen for a reason. But as a footballing, if I could have looked 6 months ahead, I wouldn't have done it.
You've worked with some great coaches and managers. Clearly, Simo and Dennis here ticked some kind of box.
Yeah, they had the yin and yang, I call them, because you need a bit of both. Dennis was the assistant manager that would mess around with the lads and take the mick out of us, and we would embrace it and give him a load of stick as well. And he knew the game inside out from his knowledge. And Simo was the guy that you knew he was the gaffer. You knew he could turn it on and off when you had to be sensible, or you had to have a little bit of the banter as well. But you knew he was the authority head, and he built relationships with you. I think that's the best thing about the two of them, that the door was always open. You knew that you had to work for them, and you'd run through a brick wall for them. So there was no animosity. There was no. He told you off in a way that he would tell you off and give you a reasoning for it, and you knew that you'd overstep the mark if you weren't selected. It was a reasoning behind it, and he'd answer the questions, and he was honest. And I think that's the fundamental thing I got from them too. There's not many honest gaffers out there, and we had that here.
And being back today to see him and watch a bit of the training session, what's the thinking behind that, Bridgie?
Yeah, just great being back in the region. You know, Simo, obviously it's great to know that he's signed for another 3 years at the football club, which I'm delighted with. I was a bit worried he was going to run scared. Obviously he's got his wishes and his the things that he's put across to the board and the owners, and that's great, because I think everybody can now rest as knowing that the fans can have a little bit of breather and they can gear up now for next season. And I just said to him, listen, do you mind if I come in for a few days? I'm back after the charity game. I need to go away and have an ice bath for 48 hours. And when you go through coaching, you know, you want to always see how others operate. So I just said, can I come in and see how you operate on a day-to-day basis, see the lads that are working in the academy, like Eric Kinder and Mark, and go and watch them as well, just to try and get as much tools into your armory as you can for your future development, and just see how the football clubs run on a day-to-day basis. And Simo could have said no, get stuffed straight away. He says, mate, I'll see you at the front door 8:30. Sent his scheduling through, and I've got a 15-minute window to have a chat with you before we go back in and watch the academy and then the first team train. So again, that's the type of man he is. He never feels, a lot of people might feel threatened and stuff by that. It's not to do with that. It's just about sharing the knowledge of football, and great to be back here.
We all watched when you moved over to Australia, Bridgie, with the restaurant that you did. You had various other schemes, the media work that you've been doing. What's the future for Michael Bridgie? Because I know you're keen on the coaching aspect as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you talk about that spaghetti junction that I was saying after football. You still want to go through your coaching badges. Then you had a good dabble at the media, doing the media as well. And hospitality, that wasn't for me. Do you know what I mean? Bar and restaurants don't go. I was giving too much of it away for free. So the 5 to 6 years of coaching, going through your pro diplomas and finding out every level, coming back over to England to go and see Sunderland Academy, going to pop into Newcastle Academy, going to pop into Middlesbrough Academy when Woodgate was there, my old Leeds colleague. Just getting as much information as well to see how them clubs operate, to go back to Australia and do that and get through your badges. And it's something that I absolutely love, because the knowledge that I've got up here, and how you try and get that across to your players and your staff, is something that I've absolutely loved, and it keeps you in the game. So again, that's what the future holds. It's coaching at some level, and we'll wait to see. But I'm going to have a right good crack.
Have you decided where in the world that might be?
It'll be back over here in Europe, no doubt about it, at some point. So, like I say, there's Australia's a great place for the lifestyle. The football is getting bigger and better. There's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks. The A-League's coming to an end.